Hi guys, welcome back to another discussion video of Ruler, Master of the Mask, and we are going to be discussing episode 25 and 26, and my name is Morgan, and over there is, of course, Sam!
Yay!
And yeah, so I'm going to quickly recap episode 24, the end of it, and then I'll let you go into 25, Sam. So basically, at the end of 25, we had this queen selection kind of going on with all the queen's niece was there and Guyon got brought in for some random reason, and while Guyon is doing this tea ceremony to kind of be graded for it to be the queen, she accidentally poisons everyone. I mean, she doesn't really poison them. I mean, but everyone gets poisoned, everyone dies, and
Nobody
yeah.
dies.
No one dies, but I legitimately was like, people died. But Guyon basically decides to take the poison also, or aka the sleeping pill, and so she doesn't get indicated for being the person who poisoned everyone else. And then, of course, the prince finds out that she's been poisoned, runs to her, and is like, "No, Guyon!" And then I'm gonna leave that. There you go. Now
In the
we're
most
on episode
highly
25.
melodramatic way humanly
Yes,
possible.
yes.
Oh my god. So the episode actually ends up starting off with a little bit of a flashback, which I've been noticing is kind of a running theme, is like we don't really start where we left off. We kind of start like a few steps backwards and then move forward again. So where we actually end up starting this is Gan talking to the queen, and the queen talking about how she's going to be a part of the marriage selection, and that essentially she's going to like adopt her or something like that is kind of what I understood. Um,
Yeah.
she's going to
Adopter.
like adopt her in a way so that way she could be a part of this, so she could protect the girl who she wants to actually become queen. And then we kind of fast forward a little bit, and then we're back in the tea room with all of them kind of
Yeah.
passed
And
out and just like chaos.
the
Well, not
queen
chaos,
also
but
the queen also promised her that she will like reinstate her father.
right.
And I'm just like, how many times do you promise that girl
I
that?
was gonna say that's like the fourth time she's promised that.
Yeah, but by then, if I was Guyan, I'd be like, okay, listen, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna do it. If you told me 4 times already that you're gonna do it, like I'm surprised that she didn't stop, like that she's still believing the queen and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's the queen, and she's blinded by like her want to have her father's name back and her want to like defeat the prince and everything. So I don't really think she cares how many times it's promised as long as it comes through, which I don't think is going to come through.
I don't think so either. But peasant son comes into the room, and he is shocked that everyone is. I was like, I'd like to write my notes while I'm watching the episode. So I was like, dead question mark. I don't know. And you can tell that he obviously wants to go with Gaia and make sure that she's okay. But of course, the queen wakes up and is like, she's like, I'm alive. I'm like, oh, good God, I wish she just died.
You know what
Like,
I thought of was like Mushu of like I'm alive.
I'm picturing it with the queen's face on Mushu being like, I'm alive.
But no, so the queen survives. Everybody survives basically, and Gawain gets taken out and brought to. It seems like the part of the palace that belongs to the prince, the king,
Yeah.
um, to be taken care of, and basically peasant son like dismisses prince son and is like you're not necessary, you can go away now, and like hides her away in his like little dungeon thing, like
Yeah.
Gollum with his precious, I don't know. Um, and basically says like Prince Son's not allowed to see her, period, end of story, as he tries to take care of her.
Yeah, which I thought was stupid. I was like, I just don't like this love triangle. I don't want it. Like I've said in all these episodes, I don't like this triangle. I think it's stupid as hell, and I just don't like it.
Well, I'm
Uh,
seeing Peasant Son slowly become like it's no longer becoming a love triangle. It's becoming possession. Like
yes.
it's becoming very possessive now. It's no longer love. It's just like she is mine, and that is it.
Yeah. It's kind of stalkerish, personality. But of course, Peasant Sun stays up all night taking care of her. And, typical K drama, she calls out for Prince Sun. And,
Shocking.
um, you know,
Not really.
yeah, no, not really at all. And of course, Peasant Son is pissed. And I'm just like, dude, get over it. And just be in love with Prince Sun. Give me that bromance again, and we'll all be fine.
I
Seriously.
think that bromance, like, I think that ship has sailed off into the
I am
sunset, never to be
still,
seen again.
I am like on the anchor of that ship, tailing like away with it. And I'm just like, don't leave me.
No, I think it's gone, Morgan. I think it's
I
gone.
know. And of course, Prince Sun sneaks in with the help of Mi Chang and meets Guyon. Uh, and I think it's really sweet how how Prince Sun told Guyon that he doesn't want to see her sick. He doesn't want to see her like the way she is now. And he can handle her like sad and happy and stuff like that. But he can't handle her seeing like this. And
Yeah.
I also kind of think, I don't know if you kind of felt this way, but I also kind of felt like Prince Sun is suddenly regretting not telling Guyon the truth because she tells him that Prince Sun is like, or that, Prince Sun Chongsu, that's like his fake name, is
Hmm.
always there for her. He was the bookseller, he was the cheap peddler, now he's a guard. And it's like she doesn't really know who he is, which is completely true. She doesn't know who he is, and how can you love someone you don't really know?
Right, but at the same time, she's like, but you're always there. So I'm just gonna forgive, like, the fact that I really had no clue who you are because apparently, like, this love is beyond blind.
Yeah, and I also think um like I also thought that after we found out that like no one actually died, I don't know, in my notes when I was watching this drama, I definitely thought that the queen did something. I was like, the queen woke up so soon. I think something's fishy. Um but no one died from the poison. So I was wrong in the game when I was like, I think someone died, no one died, no one died. But I at the time I was like, who would poison everyone? I was like, I kind of feel like it's the uh Enoch, or but then of course, but I was like, I wasn't sure. But the prince is talking to his people, and he is not sure who would do it, who would poison them, and he thinks, or the bodyguard says like, well, it was Pusawan, and Woo Woo was like, no, it's not Pusawan. Like, Pusawan would not be that clumsy to like let people live, obviously.
Right.
And Prince Sun says that, he also thinks it's not them because what do they have to gain from the situation?
Hmm. Yeah, I know, and I like the kind of like filmography kind of deal of like them going back and forth, kind of figuring it out at the exact same time that it's the Davy Mama, it's the Dowager Queen.
Yeah, and also
Um,
like, yeah, and my reaction to that, I was like, the queen did it. I'm like, oh, no. That was my reaction,
See,
just so you
so
guys
who?
know.
Here's my question: who's the real enemy here right now? Is it the Pyonsu Hui or is it the Queen?
I
Because the
have
Queen's
no
kind of becoming
clue.
like enemy number one right now.
Pretty much is everyone. Like, pretty much is everyone in this drama except his bodyguard, Woo Boo, and him, like himself. Like,
Right.
I can't say anything more because I'll give away spoilers, but everyone's the enemy.
Well, Gon's kind of not the enemy, but like she kind of is at the same time. It's like it depends on like which side you want to look at it. Like right now she's on his side, but like in the eventuality that she finds out who he is, like
She will not be on the side.
all bets are off.
Yes. Also, what happened due to the poison thing? A bunch the Pusawan's contestants in the Queen, I don't know, competition pulled out because they're all too afraid of being poisoned again.
Hmm.
Which now, everyone really, like Sam just said, it's the Queen's fault. So the Queen had basically poisoned herself and poisoned everyone else to make sure that Pusawan's choices dropped out of the competition. But the problem is that most of the contestants, like AKA her niece, they don't want to join again. But the
Hmm.
queen basically tells her brother, like, you better get my niece to join this competition because I did not take poison for nothing. And I'm just like,
Right?
this lady is crazy. Like,
Yeah. Everybody.
who
Who
poisons
isn't
themselves?
psychotic?
The only person not psychotic is Wiggly right now.
And we haven't even seen Wiggly in a while. I was thinking
No,
that. I was
she like
like,
moved
the
away.
mother and Wiggly kind of like went away.
Yeah, they went away
They no
really.
longer matter.
Nope, not all.
I love Wiggly.
Me too. And did you not freak out when Hagun or sorry, her Hagun came in to assist the queen choosing? Because like they were like, oh, the king's gonna join to look at like who's gonna choose the queen, and they're staying behind the curtain. All of a sudden, who comes in? Hagun.
Yeah. And then like pulls her weight going like because the queen was completely against it because like at this point the queen's in her heyday going like, hey, guess what, like I won, and so we're just gonna go through this and me pick who I want. And then the Pyeonsu Hui's like, oh no 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 no, we're going to do what we want to do. And so like I want to know like what cards do these people hold, because it just seems like one person does one thing and then like tries to usurp the next person, and it's back and forth and back and forth.
Yes.
But Hwagun's like, as the chief of the Pyeonsu Hui, like, don't I have every right to be
I
here? And
was
then like
shocked. I was shocked when she said that.
stares
Like,
down Lee Sun.
yeah. But dude, like, I didn't think that she had enough guts to like come out and be like, I'm later. Fudge you. Like
No, I knew she had it because as long as the like, because as far as she knew, probably the crown prince, the real one, wasn't going to be around, and so now she could kind of pull her weight a little bit.
yeah, that's true. But I thought, like, I don't know, I just thought it was a secret organization. And why are you telling a
Yeah,
bunch of the whole room
sorry, I
when
got it.
why would you tell the whole room that you're part of the secret organization? Like, I just thought it was stupid. But
There are no
she,
secrets.
yeah, there's no secrets in this drama because people can't keep secrets in this
Mm-mm.
drama
People tell
whatsoever.
everybody's, and people tell everybody else the secrets they're not supposed to be telling. Like
Exactly.
they
I'm
don't
looking at
even
you.
belong to them.
Looking at you, Lee-sun. But so of course, Hagen goes hard on the girl that the niece, the one that the queen wants to become the queen, and she makes fun of the queen's niece for not knowing the cost of rice. But thankfully, the girl blurts out the answer only because Guyon is helping her, and I'm like, thank you, girl, thank you for helping her.
Hmm.
But when Hagun asked the girl what is closer, I think was the answer was like the question was what is closer, the sun to the palace or the palace to the sun or something like that.
Yeah,
Eh,
but it was like the palace to the sun or the like a specific town or something like that. It was a really weird trick question where it was like there was no right answer.
yeah, and I like the fact that Guyan like pulled back the curtain. She sat down and she's like, "Why are you asking us trick questions? Like, if you want us to ask a question, like answer a question, then tell us the question and we'll answer it. But don't give us a trick question." And you can tell that Hagun was pissed over this.
But like even after God got it right, Hwagun took a wicked low blow to her,
Yeah, and I'm like,
asking the next question.
oh, about her what's the law pretending to be the king?
Yeah, and like
Oh,
what'll happen because Hwagun recognizes Galen. She knows who she is, and Galen knows who she is. Vice versa, or has kind of figured it out too, because she knows about the Pyeonsu Hui because of her father's investigation.
mm-hmm.
And Hwagun, I guess, understands that Galen had her dad's died because of this law, and so let's remind her about her position and really low blow her into this.
Yeah,
And like
exactly.
the other girl who's like all excited because she knows the answer, I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Don't yell this out yet. Sorry, my dog is itchy in the background. But yeah, I was like, ouch. I'm like, that is such a like a a-hole move to bring up her father and all of this when she's just answering the questions correctly. But pretty
Hmm.
much, I was like, girl, be careful because um, she might just stab you with her needle.
That stupid needle.
I know, I do not like that needle at all. Um, but I'm sorry, my dog has decided to be extra loud today. But
So after
peasants,
all this kind
yeah,
of happened, we ended up going into the selection. They were like gonna narrow it down to who was going to become like the next round of people to possibly be the queen, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and so we get to the next round and everything, and as the queen is about to announce, these people end up coming to storm on in, to claim that they know who was the person who got poisoned, and we all knew who was going to get arrested, but like it was very dramatic leading up to it, and Galen ends up being arrested as the suspect for the
Yeah,
poisoning.
exactly. Because, it was, I expected it because it was in the preview. Um, and I think I was like kind of annoyed because I was like, seriously? Like, I mean, it makes sense to get her arrested because Daemon knows that she's important to like the crown prince or peasant son. So why not get her arrested to kind of off balance the queen?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple things I actually want to talk about in this episode before we end it. One of them is the fact that Peasant Son decided to give Guyon a bunch of gifts. And of course, she only took the silk one. That is what they give to the contestant or the contestants of the Queen Marathon.
The
Um,
Bachelor,
yeah.
Joseon edition.
And Peasant Son was like, and she grabs like a silk, like a piece of silk, and she basically tells Peasant Son, like, she's like, I'll just take this one, and, Peasant Son's like, there's a reason why I chose yellow. Like, there's a reason why I chose yellow. And I'm just like, dude, instead, if you're gonna give her, like, hints like that, then just tell her you are the crown, you are who you are.
Oh, I
Well,
know, right?
it's so annoying. I hate when people tease like that. Also, Hagoon decides to tell the crown prince that, she goes to meet him and she's like, hey, don't worry, crown prince, like, Puzawan has something to do with poison, which, of course, the prince already knew. But the prince, basically, tells Hagoon that he doesn't want to meet her again.
Mm.
And because obviously she's
Well,
a
she goes
part.
into like full confession mode.
Yeah, so he tells her that he doesn't want to meet her because of the fact that she's part of the group that he wants to destroy, and thank you for your help, but no thank you. Yeah, and like Sam said, she literally was like, okay, but she's like, Prince Son, and he's like, what the fudge? And like, oh my god. She's like, oh, she like confessed that she helped him because she loved him. And I'm like, dude, even you're freaking out the prince, stop. And she finally tells him that, she's the head of the group, basically to protect him. And to be honest with you, my heart broke really hard with this scene. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know about you, Sam, but I felt like really sad, even though she is a creep. The fact that she only wanted to spend time with him and for him to look at her, and the fact that she did all this for him, and never once did he like, not that he would know to thank her, but not once did he really like show any interest in her. And I feel
Right.
bad for her. Of course she's being creepy, but that doesn't take back the things that she did for him.
Right. I think my favorite part about this scene was this is the first time that like someone finally like fully poured their heart out, put everything on the table. It was super raw of like, I did this for you and I made these decisions for you, and although like I wasn't looking for a thank you, it's like almost like you know what, he jabbed her in the heart right there, like
Yeah.
I've been nothing but an ally and a friend to you, and you know what, for the most part she has, like she really hasn't done much to screw him over. um and so it's like I feel really bad that like he's like, no, I can't accept you and I'm sorry or not sorry. But when he was like, how did you know, I'm thinking to myself, how did he not know that she knew? How did he not remember her in the greenhouse? He was the one who said her name when they were talking because she had made a comment a long time ago about, like, the next time you meet me, don't forget my name. And then 5 years later, when he remembers her name because he remembers this interaction, how did he not realize who she was? Not as the chief of the
Yeah.
Piansuhui, but the person who knew who he was because they met in the greenhouse.
I think that he's not that smart. Let's just face it. He doesn't have good memory, maybe. I don't know. I think it's like I would remember. And also, why doesn't Guy remember Peasant Son?
Right?
I
Like,
mean, it's
it's
so
not like anybody's hiding very well.
no, no one's not. They're not. Because Sam, to be honest with you, I haven't seen you in like what, 2 years?
2 years?
Yeah, which is crazy. And I would still know your face. Like I would know
Right?
your face, and even if you had a mask on, you'd be like, "I'm a prince." They'd be like, "Sam, you're Sam. Shut the fuck up." Take off that mask.
Oh God.
I didn't mean to swear. I'm sorry. It's late. But also one last thing I want to add about this episode is the prince finally puts it together that the queen has poisoned him before when he was attacked, and but he's like thinking, he's like, I will, he's like, but first I want to defeat Pusawan and think of the bigger picture, and then I'll deal with the queen, which makes sense. But then again, it's like I wouldn't really put the queen on the back burner because she seems like the person who would stab you in the back. Like you'd be
Mm-hmm.
fighting Pusawan, and she would just be coming out of nowhere. As soon as you cut their throat off, she'd come out of nowhere and stab you in the back. So I would just
Mm-hmm.
rather have, because you have, it seems like you have friends in higher places. So why don't you get one group of friends to kind of investigate the queen, and then you go after Pusawan?
Because
So
common sense does not apply in this world.
no, not all. But on to episode 26. So episode 26, Guyan's of course arrested, even though the prince, fights for her and is like, she didn't do anything. This is not right. She's still like dragged away, and it's kind of shady that the guy, like one of the deputies or ministries person, basically tells. Well, he asked like, did Day Monk put you up to this? And he basically was like, yeah, yeah, he did.
Like, no. But I just like how he did it. He's like, like he's coughing, like clearing my throat. What are you talking about? I didn't answer anything. What the hell?
It's like, why would you give that information away? Like, to give the prince another reason to go after Daymunk. Like, these people
I
are
don't
so
know.
stupid.
But I love the like, I'm clearing my throat slash answering your
Your
question.
question. Of course, Prince, sorry. Uh, Prince Son or Peasant Son, I can't remember, goes, I think it's Peasant Son, goes to the queen to ask for help. And the queen's will like, the queen, well, this queen's like, Guyan is innocent, so she'll be let out anyway. So, it's not that big of a deal. I'm like, what? I'm like, WTF, dude, you're the reason why she's being dragged to jail and might be killed. And you're just like, yeah,
It's no big deal. Like,
they'll figure it
she didn't
out.
do it. Well, the thing about
Yeah.
it is, like, she's like, she didn't do it. Well, how do you know that she didn't do it?
Exactly. How did you know? And I love the whole like Guyan, how Guyan was getting questioned, and Guyan was like so headstrong, and to like each question that she was asked, and they were like, and she was like, "How dare you arrest me when I haven't done anything wrong?" And then of course they took those wood things out, and they were gonna like break her legs, and I'm like, that escalated real fast to
Yeah, I know,
like, we're just
right?
gonna question you, to like, boom, I'm gonna slap you, to boom, I'm gonna break your legs,
Well,
like.
here's the thing about it is, like, at this moment in time, even though she's been accused of a crime, she is still a part of the, like, queen selection or whatever. So if they create scars on her body, she can no longer marry the king, and therefore she's out of the princess selection. So,
So that makes sense. I was just,
like,
why break your legs? Why go that intense? Why don't you do a whole hey Sue and like grab a vase or something like that?
well, no, like I'm saying, like, if they harm her, she's out, like, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't be of her own volition. Like, she didn't do anything. Hey, Sue, like, because you knew my reference of what I was talking about. But, yeah, Hasty did that on her own. But Gon was kind of like an innocent person who's just kind of been mixed up in this, like, weird politics you never expected to be a part of.
Yeah.
And now they're going to just, like, destroy her. Except that they don't, because Peasant Son comes in to save the day, kind of.
Yes. Um, and which which is so thankful that he actually did save her because I don't know what I would do with a character that has two broken legs. But Dave Monk overhears that Peasant's son is questioning Guyan because he's decided to take on the investigation by himself, and he decides is Dave Monk decides like, well, I'm just gonna use Guyan as a pawn and turn the whole situation in my favor, kind of thing. And and also while this is going on, the prince is trying to clear Guyan's name, and by doing this, he wants to find the person that poisoned the tea. But by doing that, they have to figure out who poisoned him,
Hmm.
because he was poisoned a while ago. So he's trying to, and if they find the person, they can put the person against the queen, which would be good because that way the queen won't be able to like refuse their deal, kind of thing.
Mm.
Um,
But
and
they end up like, because the charts or the logs or whatever, which I didn't realize they kept the log. Well, I forgot that I remembered in one historical drama they talk about how like they log everything for like historical purposes. So when they were talking about the logs, like, what are you talking about? And then I remembered that. But they had made a comment about how the logs for like the last 24 hours are already like being reviewed or whatever, and like it was really smart for him to be like, go back 20 years or 20 years, go back 20 days, and find out what was going on the day I got poisoned, and let's find that out.
Yeah, and that way you can figure out what happened.
And that's
Um,
really smart. So
it
someone
is
made a
really
smart move
smart.
for once.
Exactly. And also, we had this whole scene with Mi Chang and her father, the chief eunuch.
Hmm.
And Mi Chang wants to help the prince, but you can tell that her father does not like the prince at all and does not agree with what she's doing. But she seems, I like the fact that she seems very pro prince and that she's stepping away from her father, that she wants to help this guy. And there seems no ill intent, which is a lot with a lot of characters. They want something out of it, but I feel like Mi Chang, she just wants a good prince and wants someone that she can follow.
Yeah, I think her and Wubo are her biggest ally, or are the prince's biggest allies right now.
Yes, exactly. And the queen, gets basically told that the people, the cops, whatever, are coming after her court lady. So she takes her court lady and tells her to basically leave the palace, don't come back, and hide.
Hmm.
And the court lady's like, I worked for you for like, I don't know, something ridiculous, like 30 or
30
40,
years.
yeah, 30 years. And the queen's like, yeah, because of that, I'm not going to kill you. I'm like, what?
I know, right? Psycho.
So if she's only working for you for a year, you'd be like, yeah, that's like nothing. So we're just gonna kill that girl because like a year's nothing to me, or even like 29 years. Yeah, that's nothing. Which is oh my god,
But
crazy.
30 is the sweet spot.
Yeah, 30's enough. But the prince, of course, stops the court lady, and he basically tells Peasant Son to use her as a bargaining chip against the queen, and that if she does not let Gaia go, that they will take the court lady over to Daemonk, which I don't understand how that would work, kind of thing. Or maybe like, oh yeah, that would work out because they could use her against the queen to go to jail and stuff like that. Um, but um, so Prince Sun tells him, to do whatever he can to release Guyon, and to get her out of the Queen's grasp. And of course, I'm so happy because I'm like, you two are finally working together. I just want to pinch your cheeks, yes. Like I'm a happy mom. And then of course, yeah, shit goes down the drain. Um, but Mi Chang bribes the guards to leave their posts, which allows Prince Sun to see Guyan. And of course, he's sad that she's there, but Guyan's just like happy to see him, and it's so cute. And of course, Peasant Son has to see this whole thing of them being together. I'm like,
Are you
oh,
shocked? Are you shocked that scene
I'm
happens? I'm
not
not.
shocked whatsoever, but I was like, WTF, dude, I just told you to stop with the stupid love triangle, and you just gave me the scene, and I don't appreciate it whatsoever. No. Which I hated so much. I hate those scenes though, where it's like in Korean dramas where it's like two people talking and then someone's like peeking out from a corner. And it's just like, no, I hate it because it gives so many misunderstandings in like all these Korean dramas and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
but of course, Guy wakes up, and who is in front of her? Being
Peasant
creep.
son being a
Yeah,
total creeper.
good. I'm the only one who thinks that. I was like, okay, like
Well, it was like he was like looming over her like he owned her almost, which in all intents and purposes, he said he owned her. He's like, you're a court lady and the court lady belongs to the king and therefore you are mine, and like why is it that you're the young master is the one that you want, and blah blah blah. And she's like, uh I think she
yeah,
ended up saying that like she believed in that he didn't kill her father and therefore he's no longer her enemy, and now she just wants to leave. And then when he like kind of gets it in his own head, or even though I think it's probably true, that she's going to be leaving with Prince Sun, like his aggression just like goes through the roof. And I was like, oh my god, like people need to like, let's have some communication here, people. Like he could have just
yeah.
told her who he was and life would have been so much easier. He's had so many opportunities to
He
be like,
did.
this is who I am, like you have no reason to be mad at me, blah blah blah. But no,
Exactly.
he just kind of like lives in like gray area world where I'm gonna tell you but like not really 100% tell you who I am.
This is stupid. Just tell her. If you're gonna tease her, just tell her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it's so annoying. But so Peasant Son walks into the queen's room, and he basically tells her that like he walks in there like a boss too, because they're like, you can't meet with the queen, be respectful of the queen. And he's like, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna barge in. I don't
I
care.
I loved whichever court lady was like, yeah, I understand who you are, but like these are bad manners, and I'm like, you're asking to be beheaded, but like you're my new best friend right now. Like,
Yes. I don't know why I find that funny, but I do. I'm just thinking, like, I'm like, yes, walking like a boss, and you're just like, yes, thank you for telling him manners.
manners are important, you know, decorum. It's
Yes,
a thing.
of course, of course. I love that though. But he basically tells the queen, like, you know what? I have the court lady. She's under my like care, and if you wanna not let me send her to Daemonk, and you basically get in trouble, you need to set Guy free, and you also need to give me something else too. And at the time, I was like, what else do you want? Like, I couldn't. I don't know
I
why.
figured it out pretty
I
dang
couldn't.
fast.
I
Well, actually, I didn't see the like. I saw the ending and didn't see the ending coming at the same time. I'll explain that when we get to the end of the episode.
Yeah, but oh, okay. So I was confused because Guyan is let go, and Prince Peasant's son meets not Peasant's son. I'm sorry. Prince son meets up with her, and he's like they're holding hands, or like you know what, you're no longer a court lady, which I thought was kind of strange. But she's no apparent to him, she's no longer a court lady, and she's not arrested. So Prince son basically says like, "Come home with me," and before she can actually go, of course she's dragged off to the queen selection, which I'm like, I thought you were removed from it, but I guess not. And of course, she is made into a
Well,
concubine.
well,
Concubine.
kind of. They're going into the last selection. The last three people are going to like they still got one more kind of like step in all of this, and now three people are down. So it's like the three finalists of like Bachelor Joseon Dynasty version. And so basically they've all are now the king's people. Now it's just a race to be the queen, which we already know who the queen's going to be because the queen's already said it. But I thought honestly what was going to end up happening here was that she wasn't even going to narrow it down to three. That it was just going to be Gaen's going to be the queen, and that is that. Like
I
that's
don't.
what I thought was going to happen. I realized they were going to choose three people.
Yeah. I didn't realize at all. And well, I thought that she could be queen, but I didn't expect for her to be a concubine whatsoever.
Mm-mm.
Because according to Gaia, she thought that she was gonna be like let go after the second wave of helping that girl,
Right.
and of course I was like when I saw that I was like what like WTF peasant son like what why would you do that that makes no sense whatsoever because obviously you have to give up the throne anyways and if you give up the throne she's still gonna be
A
you know
concubine, and
concubine
it's
to
going
the
to
king
belong to the real king. And
you're like you're stupid. Think your plan through. But of course, Princess pissed that Guyan is a lowly concubine when eventually he wants her to be his queen,
I
which
don't think he thought that one through too, because
I
in
don't think
order
so
for her to
either.
be the queen, like he needs to tell her who he is, and she's eventually going to find out, and she's going to hate him anyway. So what happily ever after are you looking at?
They're all have delusions in their mind or something like that. I think they're crazy. I don't
Like
think they.
everything's going to be okay, regardless of
Yeah.
all the bad things that I've
No.
done.
No, it's not gonna be okay. Stop being not smart about it and start using your brain. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, Peasant Son snaps at him and like he screams at Prince Son, why don't you tell her the truth? That you are the crown prince and that you caused her father's death. And while they're screaming at each other, of course, there's someone at the door. Like we hear a thud, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh my god! I think someone's at the door." Like, who was it? Who was it? I still don't think we find out who was at the door.
No.
We don't find out.
No, but I know, I have a feeling I know who it is.
Who do you think it is?
It would spoil the next two episodes.
Okay, don't say it.
But I will talk about it when we do the next discussion video as to who I think it was.
I think I know who you think it is too. I'll say it after we get done with this
Okay.
discussion. Um, but Prince Sun and Peasant Sun face each other, and I think that seems really cool how they were facing each other. How like their whole like lives are changed like how Peasant Sun is now a prince or a
Hmm.
king and how the king is now basically not a peasant I would say but definitely not up to where he was before.
Right.
But Peasant Son tells Prince Sun that he has no authority to take Guyan, which is pretty I hate that.
Yeah. What did
Well,
I say to you? Hold on. I'm gonna find the message I sent to you. Hold on one moment, please, while we find what I'm trying to find.
Oh,
Uh, you know what I'm trying to find.
yes. Um,
Basically, I had said something along the lines of that Gaon is not oh yeah, okay.
yeah.
Can I just say that Gaon is not a piece of meat? You can't just say who she belongs to. That being said, this is like the Joseon dynasty, and women really don't have a lot of autonomy and everything. But like right now, I'm going girl power and saying like she doesn't belong to you. Her feelings don't belong to you. So it doesn't matter whether you say like you want her or not. Like ultimately, she's the one who's going to make that decision. And if she ends up becoming a concubine, or if she ends up becoming queen, or if she ends up whatever to peasant son, she's never going to love him. She's going to like she has a friendship love toward him. If she ever finds out who the heck he is, but she has a friendship love toward him, or she's always going to have that weird hatred and always the love for the young master, the prince son. So
Yeah.
like you can control the person, but you can't control the feelings, and so it doesn't matter. She doesn't belong to you.
Yes. Exactly. Um,
So my
of course,
frustrations.
yes. And of course, like, in the whole conversation they were having, Prince Sun basically tells them that he'll never get Guyon, and of course, Peasant Son will be like, so you have no right to take her, you have no right to do her, she's the king's woman. And, and Peasant Son basically tells him, like, you can have the mask, you can have the throne, you can have anything else you want, but not Guyon. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, dude, let's just forget about the girl and just be best friends again. Let's just do it.
We already
No.
exchanged the
No.
friendship, right?
Yes. Come on. But that was basically the end of the drama. And I can't just say that I hate that this drama turned from like defending evil, like defeat the Pusawan and get that evil out of our kingdom to who gets the girl.
I know.
It's
Like it
lame.
didn't happen. Like the thing, like what's weird about it is that it didn't like all happen at once. It was kind of just gradual, and it kind of just snuck up on you until like these last like what 3 or 4 episodes when you're
Yeah.
like, Wait a minute, like how did we get here?" Like I'm so
Yes.
confused.
And like I just like my thoughts on it is I just think it's lame and like it's stupid and I feel like this drama could be so much more better if it didn't have that. And I understand where they're both coming from like we've talked about. I understand why there's a love triangle and stuff like that. But for me personally, I would rather it be like them maybe a love between Guyon and the prince, and maybe there is like a friendship between peasant son and her. But what I wanted is a good drama that has something to do with politics and like it's deep, it's dark, and it's interesting. But all we got was a stupid love triangle, which I didn't like. I mean, honestly, there could have been a way where peasant son turns against prince son. Maybe like Pusawan puts murders his family and then puts the blame on prince son. There
Yeah,
could have been
something.
other ways to do it instead of a stupid love triangle. And I know everyone loves a romantic like a rom-com, but honestly, there can be K-dramas without love triangles.
Right. And you know what? I'm definitely with you. I was hoping for like good versus evil, like let's try like even with the queen plot line, I'm kind of becoming okay with it. Not 100% okay with it, but I'm kind of becoming okay with it. Because it has a little bit of a complication into what's going on and like a little more history to it. But I was really hoping it was much more like how are we going to defeat the Pyeonsu Hui and like how does Hwagun fit into all of this and which side is she going to be on and like who's going to help who, and now it's like we've got crazy Hwagun who's like I love you and I've always loved you blah blah blah,
I'm just like
and God who's like being thrown around like a piece of meat, and you got the two Lee sons who are like I owed her, and it's just like
stupid.
how did we get here?
Yeah. And what's Pusawan doing? Pusawan's just like,
They're
yeah,
just
we're here.
chilling out. Like
They're
there's not much
legitly
going on.
Yeah, and so I would rather if right now, we're legitly if this was a regular instead of cutting up the episodes like they would usually do, this we'd be on episode 14 or we'd be I think 14 or 15. We last episode this would be episode 13. Next episode would be episode 14 if I'm right,
Mhm.
and then so we're next week is episode 15, 16, and then
Mhm.
we literally have 5 more episodes left.
I know that actually there's so much left to go. Like, where are they going with this story? Like, that's the only thing I have as a question is like,
Yes.
so how many episodes do we have left after this?
I think if I calculated right, because I don't know if I'm like, I think there's only 5 left, but oh man, I'm not sure if I did the
5
right.
counting the next 2, right?
Yes.
So we have what?
No,
2 more weeks left?
not next 2. 5 counting next week. Next.
Yeah, so we have what, 2.5 weeks left with this?
Yeah, pretty much.
And so much more to go. So I don't even know where they're
I
going
don't
with
know what
this.
to do
And
with my life.
I'm just scared. I'm so scared as to where this is gonna go, and I think it's gonna turn into a bloodbath.
I think
By the end of episode 40, which is 20, I really see a bloodbath coming.
Me too. And it's sad. Ugh. But anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed this discussion video. And if you guys did, please feel free to write comments down below. We love to read comments and answer them and talk to you. I mean, awkward, I'm sorry. But yeah, write comments down below. We love to know your thoughts and opinions on this drama. Do you like the love triangle? Do you not like it? What's your thoughts on it? Do you think it's stupid like I do? And do you just want a bromance like I do?
And what are
Please.
your theories? Like, do you have any theories as to what's going on or what's gonna happen? Because we're curious.
Yeah, exactly. Please rate them down below, and we will see you guys next time. Okay, bye! Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please feel free to give it a like. If you would like, you can subscribe to our channel, and if you want to check out our last week's discussion video, click somewhere on the screen because it'll be somewhere up here, and we will see you guys next time. Okay, bye. Not really bye, but bye!